this over? Okay, this is much better. It's my first live, so I'm going to have some technical issues because I put the speaker quite high, and I was surprised by my own voice. I want to start by saying hello, bonjour, comment allez-vous? I know it's been a while since I made a video, and I told you that I wanted to focus on my upcoming journey. You can see my house, how messy it is. I've been getting rid of things, and I felt like I should at least do a live. If I can't keep up with uploading, or if I can't keep up with publishing 2 videos a week, it's best to try live streams. And this is my first time going live, as you can see with the technical issue I had. And I just want to say thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for still being around. As I explained, I'm not sure if I can carry on doing anime reviews in Japan because copyright laws are very strict, and I don't want to build a channel to the point where I have a lot of subscribers expecting some reviews from me, and then I keep getting copyright strikes. Because right now I can't do it. I don't have a big audience. No one is going to notice. But once you become bigger, people start noticing your channel, and people in Japan start watching. Those executive or whoever work for Japanese companies, they're going to have an issue. That's why I prefer to use images in my videos than clips of anime. I can use them, but I know that copyright laws are very strict. And I was thinking that if I was thinking that since I'm worried about copyright laws, what if I go live stream? When I'm live streaming, I won't use any images. I'm just going to tell you the story. And for those who really appreciate this retro anime review, they won't mind at all that I'm not putting up images. Yeah, but if you feel like you prefer to see the story with an image, well, I can try to edit my life afterwards. But for those who watch me live, for those who start watching me live now, I prefer them to get used to this than us building a big audience and then have issues, because there are YouTubers who were taken to court by Japanese companies. Yeah, they don't play around about this. So going forward, I'm going to do live streams. Going forward, I'm going to do live streams. If I can do it at least once a week to keep the channel going, it's fine with me, because I won't do any editing. I get to speak to you face to face live right now. That's going to work for me, because it's my day off. I'm just at home. I'm waiting for a handyman to come over. I was just like, this is the perfect time to go live, so that's why I'm here now. This video is about Nobody's Boy Remi. I actually recorded a video. I mean, this live stream is about Nobody's Boy Remi. Yeah, I actually recorded a video about this anime, but I never got to publish it because I deleted all the videos on my channel, and I felt like I can't really focus on that channel as much as I want to. So I deleted the video, and I prefer to tell you the story right now. So enough with the chit chat. I just felt like explaining what's happening. It's not like I have no interest in the channel. I still do. I love watching retro anime. I want to talk about it, but it's a commitment issue. Yeah, because recording, editing takes a lot of time, but live stream is a lot easier. That's why I was trying to build the channel, trying to get enough subscribers so that I can be able to go live, if that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm not sure if this is going to stay on a channel or after I finish the live, but when I reach a certain amount of subscribers, the live stream can stay on the channel. Right now, I'm not sure if YouTube is going to archive or delete them. I just want to give it a try. Yeah. So back to Remi Sans Famille, or Nobody's Boy Remi. Nobody's Boy Remi Anime is based on a novel Sans Famille by Hector Malot. This novel was adapted into anime in 1977 and movies. There are many movies based on this story. The latest movie, French movie, came out in 2018. Yeah, so it's a beautiful story. People made a lot of adaptation. Even the anime that came out in 1977 has a remake that came out in 1990 or 1992 called Nobody's Girl Remi. So in the original story, the main character is a boy, but in the remake they changed the main character to a girl, also called Remi. I still haven't watched this anime, the remake, but I love the 1977 one. That's what I watched when I was growing up. It's one of the saddest story and the most beautiful story. It's actually inspiring. Okay, it just shows you how things can quickly change, quickly move in life. So Remi is a young boy who's living a peaceful life with his mom in a small village called Chavanon. His mom is called Madame Barberin. Yeah, and Remi is happy even though he never met his dad. His dad left his village to go work to Paris when he was still a baby, and he's excited. He really is looking forward to seeing his dad for the first time because he's been living with his mom, even though they get news from Paris, but he never met his dad. He's always sending money home to take care of his family. Then one day they got some really bad news. Bad news. His dad got into an accident, yeah, at work, and he wanted to sue his employer, so he asked his wife to send him some money, but they just had enough to take care of themselves, even when the husband was sending money back home. So Madame Barberin, Mrs. Barberin, sold everything they had to send the money to her husband so that he can hire a lawyer. But he didn't win the case because it was his own fault, and Madame Barberin maybe oh mon Dieu, qu'est-ce qui m'arrive? So Madame Barberin and Remi just had enough to eat, just had enough to support themselves. Even on one celebration day, what they had for the party or to celebrate the day, whatever was going on that day, the neighbors gave them eggs, butter, cheese, and things like that. That's why they were able to make a meal. And her husband happened to come back on the same day. When he saw what they were eating, it was just like, I'm suffering in Paris, working hard for you two, and you are having a feast. He came back a bitter man because he lost his case and he was broke. They had nothing left. That's how Remi met his dad for the first time. He was scared of him. He was hiding behind his mom. And when the dad saw Remi, he was just like, who's this kid? Whose child is this? Remi was shocked. So that's how he found out that he's actually adopted. Yeah. Before I carry on, I just want to say that Remi Sans Famille, dubbed in French, is available on YouTube, all 51 episodes. I only look up Remi Sans Famille. As I said, French is my first language, so I usually watch anime in French. I don't know if it's also available in English. I don't know if it was dubbed in English, but growing up, I watched Remi Sans Famille or Nobody's Boy dubbed in French. So it's available on YouTube, all 51 episodes for those who want to give it a try. Yeah. It's old. Like I said, it came out in 1977. I'm not sure if it's easy to find or if there are DVDs, Blu-ray, or VHS. For those who still use, I use the VHS. Yeah, I have a VHS player. those who subscribed to the channel a while ago already know this. So I'm not sure. If you speak French, go on YouTube and watch Remi Sans Famille. If you don't, I really don't know where to recommend you to watch this. Okay, so Remi finds out that his mom and dad aren't his real parents. On the day his dad came back from Paris, he was a scary man. He was a cold man. He didn't want to remain in the house anymore. So what happened is that when he went to walk to Paris, he found a baby on the street. He picked up the baby and brought him back to his wife to raise. People praised him in the village thinking that he was doing something good, but he had an ulterior motive actually. He picked up Remi only because he was dressed in really nice and expensive clothes. So he knew that this kid came from a rich family. Maybe one day his family will come looking for him, then I'll get a reward. That's the real reason he brought Remi back to his wife. Now he doesn't have a job anymore. They're completely broke. He can't work anymore. He doesn't want Remi in a house. So he told his wife, take that kid to an orphanage. I don't want him here anymore. But Mrs. Barberin raised and loved Remi as her own child. She was just like, Remi isn't going anywhere. She even told Remi, don't worry, I'm going to speak to Monsieur Barberin and convince him to forget about it. We're going to manage somehow. But Monsieur Barberin didn't want Remi in a house at all. So one day he told his wife, go to the next village to pick up something for me. He injured his leg, so he can't walk to the village on his own, and say that it's just going to take half a day. While the wife was away, he sold Remi to a street performer called Vitalis. So this guy tricked his wife to get rid of his son. At first, I was just like, what is wrong with this guy? How can you accept to buy a child? I was even watching recently with my daughter before recording the video just to refresh my memory. And when my daughter watched that scene, it was just like, he sold a child? You can't do that. I said, well, it happened a lot back in the day. So he sold Remi to Monsieur Vitalis, Senor Vitalis, an Italian street performer. And he waited for his wife to be away. So when Remi was living with Senor Vitalis, Mrs. Barberin came back and found out that the husband sold Remi because he was counting his money. And he tried to give an excuse. She started running after Remi, shouting his name. And Remi also turned around. It's like he heard his mom. It's like he heard his mom cry. Yeah, and he turned around and shouted, I'll come back to you one day. Don't worry, I'll be just fine. Yeah, this scene was so heartbreaking. Oh my God, I was crying my eyes out. I said, I don't like Jérôme Barberin at all. I don't like that guy. He's horrible, but selling Remi to Senor Vitalis is one of the best things that happened to him. I know it sounds weird. He was sold. How can it be good for him? But going with Senor Vitalis was actually better than being sold to an orphanage or being sent to an orphanage, because the orphans those days were treated like slaves. Yeah? Remi even saw an orphan walking on the street when he tried to sell him the first time. Yeah? It wasn't the first time he sold him. So when he tried to sell him the first time, he asked him to wait outside, and he saw the boys from an orphanage, how they were treated like slaves. So Senor Vitalis actually bought Remi because he needed an apprentice. He was getting old and he wanted someone he can teach everything he knows, so that his art or his performance won't be lost forever. That's why he was interested in Remi. And they started traveling all over France. On his journey, he's going to meet his real family. That's why I say that Remi being sold to Senior Vitalis is one of the best things to ever happen to him. He's going to meet his real mom and younger brother without knowing that that's his real family. Even his mom won't know that that's the son she lost years ago. So there was some power struggle or struggle in a family, yeah. And Remi's uncle or is that nephew? I don't remember exactly who, but someone in now it's raining heavily. So someone in his family wanted to get rid of him because he was the firstborn. He was supposed to be the heir to the family and get the estate. Since he was still a baby, it was easy for them to get rid of him. They actually wanted to unalive him, but something happened, so he ended up on the streets of Paris. And his family is from England, aristocrats. Yeah, he ended up on the streets of Paris, and that's when Monsieur Barberin, Jérôme Barberin, found him and brought him back to his wife. So Remi, at some point, is going to end up alone because back then, street performers were treated badly. They are considered just like thieves. Okay, Senor Vitalis is going to get into trouble and go to jail. In the meantime, Remi is going to carry on performing because that's how they feed themselves, that's how they make money. And then he's going to meet the lady who's going to take him in and ask him to stay with her until Senor Vitalis gets out of jail. So Remi was living with his real family without knowing. Even his mom didn't know, but she fed something for this child. Okay, you don't just invite anyone into your while you are traveling in France. As I said, they are from England. They were in France just to travel, looking for a doctor to treat Remi's younger brother. Yeah, and during his time with that family, he was happy. When Senor Vitalis came out of jail, Mrs. The lady got in touch with him to let him know where Remi was staying. So when he got out of jail, he wanted to pick up Remi. The lady said, I want to adopt Remi. I want him to stay with me. I'm going to give him the best education possible because they are rich. They are aristocrats. She said that without knowing that that's the son she lost years ago. Senor Vitalis said no. I was really annoyed when he said no. They were struggling so much. Living on the street wasn't easy. People treated them like trash sometimes. That's why he ended up in jail. But he has an opportunity to live with a family that wants him, that's going to give him a good life. Why are you saying no? It's only later on I understood why Senor Vitalis was against it. And it makes sense. Because he wanted to teach him something. It's not just about being a street performer, it's about life. He wanted him to learn how to fend for himself because he ended up being sold when Barberin didn't want him in his house anymore. So if he learns how to fend for himself, how to take care of himself, he won't have to worry, he won't have to rely on anyone anymore. And he also wanted to teach him what life is like in different places, what life is like when you're a street performer, what kind of people you can meet, who's good, who's bad. Yeah, that's what he was trying to teach Remi. And Senor Vitalis also had a tragic past. He used to be an opera singer, an Italian opera singer. So how did an Italian opera singer end up being a street performer in France? Yeah, Remi didn't know this at all. So they left the lady, and Remi promised that they're going to meet again. He carried on his travel with Senor Vitalis. He learned to sing, he learned to act, he started earning money, then tragedy strikes. This anime made me cry like any other anime. It was making me cry my eyes out. But when I was a kid, every time it was time for Remi Sans Famille, I sat in front of the TV. I couldn't stop watching because I wanted to know how things are going to end for Remi. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but that's how I felt. So they were a group of 5. There were 2 dogs, Vitalis, Remi, and a monkey, a small monkey. So in the end, Remi is going to end up only with Capi, the dog, and he's going to lose 3 members of the troop. Yeah, it's very sad. Oh my God! And this Remi, it's like everywhere he went, he brought tragedy with him. Every time a family took him in, something bad happened to them, and he was just like, no, I should carry on. So he always ended up on the street. Yeah, something, even when he stayed with the lady, something almost happened to his younger brother. It's like tragedy was following him everywhere, and on his journey he's going to learn a lot. Okay, he started off he started off he started off as a kid who didn't know anything about life, who was always uh, after his mom. Yeah, always. What in French we say enfant gâté. Oh, a pampered child. He was a pampered child, even though they were not rich or anything, but Mrs. Barbara loved him and pampered him. So when he started living on his own, he had to learn how to take care of himself. He stopped crying for every little thing and became more confident. Yeah. So that journey was good for Remy. He learned a lot. He learned about life, uh, the death, and the grief. Okay, because he's going to lose a lot, but he promised his master that he won't forget anything he taught him. Even when he ended up with his real family, he was given an opportunity to live the kind of life he could only dream of. He made a different choice. He told his mom that I have to finish this journey I started with Senor Vitalis. I can't stay with you just yet. So he turned his back to a castle, being rich, living a good life, to go back to being a street performer. He's also going to be reunited with Madame Barberin. Both women are actually going to meet. The woman who gave birth to Remy and the woman who raised him. Because later on they're going to find out that the boy she took on a boat, who lived with her for months, was actually her own child, and she started looking for him. All the people they met along the journey are going to meet all together. Okay, it's such a beautiful story. That's why I loved it. He had a hard life, but in the end it was worth it because he learned something important, something about life. That's why I felt like talking about this. That's all I'm going to say. I think I say too much. It's because it's a very old anime. Yeah, it's not something that's easy to find. So hopefully you can find it. If not, well, I told you enough. Maybe to give the book a try if you can find the book, or watch it in French for those who understand and speak French. Yeah. Again, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and if you think we should carry on with this live stream, let me know and I'm going to plan the next one. Okay.